So welcome back to another video. We are going to see how to make a thumbnail for YouTube in the most simplest way. So let's get started. So now we are going to see what size a thumbnail is. It's actually a standard size. Let's get over to image right over here and then click on the canvas size, right? And then we just see it in inches, but we need it in pixels right over here. You just change it to the pixels so we can see this in pixels. So the width is 1280 pixels and height is 720 pixels, and this is what we're just going to keep it as a standard size, and then click OK if we created something like this. So we're just going to create a new layer, but before that I would like to say that we are going to involve a lot of things into this. So I just gathered a lot of stock things and images from here. We're just going to make it a little bit simple, but let me say we're just going to choose a particular color. We're just going to use this one right over here. You can just go to colorhunt.co. I just gave a link in the description for this, and there's a lot of color palettes that you can use, and there's a variety of color palettes, and you don't need to download and use the color picker. You can use this code right over here. And then I just already made my new color palette right over here, and I just chose this to use this purple and violet kind of feel to make it look much more better. So we're just going to use this, and then we're going to create a thumbnail. So I'm just going to make a background that is a little bit dark, so we're just going to use this one. So just click this code right over here and then get over to the Photoshop and then click here and then select the color. So now you can just paste it and then click OK, and you can just use the Alt backspace to just fill in the layer like this, and then now you've just created the background. Let's create a text box here. In this text box we're just going to use the marquee tool, rectangular marquee tool, and then create a selection, and then you're just going to create a new layer and then use the color that is in the foreground right here, and just change the colors as you wish. But after creating, I'm just going to change it to text box. So we just have to rename the proper layers, and then we're going to add a little bit of stock images to it to make it look much more good. So I just need this guy and this one. So I'm just going to cut this out. So to make that, I'm just going to use the rasterize layer option first, and then we're going to use the marquee layer. I'm just going to cut this one out. So now you can see that I just cut this one out. It's like just a cropping method, but I'm just going to use the magic wand tool and then remove all this. As you can see, the white stuff, when it is removed, it looks much better. So I'm just removing all the whites, and I don't need this, this line and this shapes, so I'm just going to remove it. So you can just remove all the things which you don't need. So we just got this vector crystal clear. So if you have something like this, you can always use the marquee tool to select this easily and then click delete. So when we just create this, we just have one more image that I said earlier. So just going to add this one. And when the whites are removed, it looks much more perfect, but I don't need this shapes right over here. So I'm just going to use this rectangle marquee tool to remove everything. So when done, it looks much more perfect and good, and we're going to add a little bit of text. But before that, if you want to add your logo, you can always do it on top right. So to create a text, I'm just using the Baby's new font, and it's set to bold to make it look much more bold, and I'm just going to set the color to white and then click OK here. So let's create a text. We name this as the Photoshop tutorial, and then that's it. So we're just going to add this in the center. Now you can see that this doesn't match with the background, but we are going to make it match. But before that, I'm just going to add one more text to it. Let's name this as. So when this is done, you just have to reposition it, and then I have a logo of YouTube. I'm just going to bring this in. Now it looks like how to make a YouTube thumbnail, which is perfect. So we're just going to make this look a bit more better than it is now. We're just going to use a simple thing, but before that we're just going to make a layer style for the text, which is not visible right over here. So now let's double click it, and you can see there will be a new box appear. So just go to the drop shadow menu and then tick this one. I set it to 90-degree angle and the opacity to 100 and the spread to a little bit, and you can just change the distance and also the size and a little bit of noise. Yeah, when it is done it looks pretty much good. So now let's get to this and then rasterize this layer. Just going to copy this layer style which we did for the Photoshop tutorial by right click and then click copy layer style and then paste it to all. So we're going to paste it to this by adding a layer right below this subject, and then click on the brush and such a soft brush and then select the black color. Now I'm just going to paint it to make it look a bit more natural. So I'm just going to paint it. This is a manual shadow which we can cast it, so I'm just doing this really fast. Now that's it, we just created our basis of the thumbnail, and this is how we're just going to create the thumbnail which looks much more aesthetic and much more good. So your thumbnail appears right over here at this size in YouTube, so that's pretty much good to go. So thanks for watching this video. If you like this video, just click on the like button and then subscribe to our channel for more content like this.